Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, I have as my guest Mayor Reggie Burgess of North Charleston, South Carolina. How you doing there, Mayor Burgess?
I'm blessed, Mr. Paul, man. It's a blessing to be around you
Yes,
again.
sir.
And you've been really a very exciting a blessing to me and my family. I met you years ago, and when I was the chief of police.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm the mayor, and you are still here with me.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate that. Tell the audience some things about the city of North Charleston.
Well, the city of North Charleston is my home. I was born and raised here, as well as my wife and my children, and my parents, and my wife's parents as well. And I say that to you because that's how I look at the city. I look at the city as the only place that I truly call home. And I love it, and I love the people, most of all, because that's what makes the city the people. Our city is a city that is not only a good place to work and to play, but our city is a great place to live.
Yes, sir.
And I love people to come here to enjoy the city, but I also want people to invest in living in the city because it's the economic engine for the state. We have homes, we have communities, we have businesses, we have development, and we have a great infrastructure that gets you into the other two counties, which are Dorchester and Berkeley County.
Okay. So as mayor of North Charleston, just like you just stated, what are some of the things that you see that makes North Charleston one of the best cities in the United States?
Well, I feel that North Charleston is the best city in this state, definitely. Why? Because we're the only city in this nation that is the home base for the C-17 cargo airships at the Charleston Air Force Base. The Air Force Base is in my city. My city is the new city for the super base for the United States Coast Guard.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be right here in my city. And also we have the former naval base that we are actually redeveloping. And it has a lot of Navy maritime relics that you can go out there and take a look at, and not only look at the Navy and walk the Navy Yard where the Navy was, but you can actually have an opportunity to eat there at nice restaurants and to actually walk trails and enjoy the Cooper River. And then also what makes my city so unique, my city is the only city in the world that manufactures high-end airplanes, which are Boeing, and high-end vehicles, which are Mercedes. There's no other city in the world that has the two of that style in their city. So when you look at being marketable, you're talking about a city that has a great base of families. Then you have a city that has a great infrastructure because the main thoroughfares go through my city, I-26, 526.
Correct.
And then also you're looking at development. We have Top Golf, we have a Coliseum Performing Arts and a convention center. We have robust educational facilities. We have the most children that are in Charleston County School District, which Charleston County is the second largest school district in the state. the majority of the children in the Charleston County School District reside in my community. So when you look at people, you look at places, and you look at activities, North Charleston is it.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job
I'm
being
trying,
the
sir.
mayor.
Yes, sir, I'm trying.
You're doing it.
I'm trying.
As we go through these challenges in our society, why is it so important to use your rights to voting?
Oh man, I'm pretty good with history. I love history. Voting was something that we, as African Americans, we weren't allowed to do. We weren't allowed to do it when the Mayflower landed. We weren't allowed to do it after the Revolutionary War. We weren't allowed to do it doing other activities until the Supreme Court stepped in and gave all citizens the right to vote. And we had to go through so much to get that right. That's, first of all, one of the biggest reasons why you should not take it for granted. Secondly, if you didn't exercise your right to vote, I wouldn't have been here in this position. And I don't like to talk about it as often, but the people always tell me to say and talk about my blessing. And my blessing was to become the first African American chief of police in this city's history, and then becoming the first African American mayor in the city's history. I would have never achieved that as being the mayor and being elected in 2023 after I won if the great people of the North Charleston did not vote for me. If they did not vote, I would have never been here at this interview. So it's very, very vital. It's a must, and it's something that our forefathers died and really stressed themselves out for us to have this opportunity that they didn't have.
A major issue not only in North Charleston but around the country is affordable housing. How are you and your team addressing this issue?
See, affordable housing means different things to different people. In the city of North Charleston, we have a very, very diverse community. We have a large population of African Americans, probably the largest in the state per capita in the city. I think Columbia is second. And then we have a huge Caucasian population. Then we have a tremendous amount of Hispanics, Latinos in our city as well. So we're all a melting pot of America. But what I noticed, not only being the mayor, but doing 34 years as a cop, I would respond to call for services. I realized that it seems to me that people who are in poverty, people who are underserved, people who are not really being taken care of, they live in any means that they can find. They don't normally own homes. They are renting, some of them week by week. Some people that I know are staying under bridges, staying in old dilapidated homes that don't have any type of utilities on, or sleeping, under benches. So I see that as real as I can see it. And I always think about, as a mayor, what is my position? But most importantly, as a Christian, as a God-fearing man, what should I do? And how should I go about doing it? So what I try to do in the city of North Charleston as the mayor, I try to maximize any opportunity that I can in this position, especially when it comes to housing. If I meet with developers, and I meet with them daily, if I meet with developers who actually have just purchased land to develop homes, either single, multi-family homes, or I meet people that have an aspiration of purchasing land, or as a city, we own around about 14 lots that we own as a city. and we're trying to actually get nonprofits will deed that property over to them so that they can build a home for sale or for a family that is in need. So affordable homes is a must for the city, but also we have to take in consideration we need to shift gears somewhat. Workforce homes are needed as well. All these jobs we have right in the city, a lot of people that work at Boeing, Mercedes, Topgolf, Roper Hospital, all these entities, they have a massive amount of people working, but they have to travel so far to get here. We need to look into consideration, look at workforce housing as well. But the main issue for me is I think we should not only talk about affordable housing and workforce housing, those are needed, but we need to talk about income-based housing. If you can't afford something that somebody may say is affordable, we should take a look at what their income is and try to actually create an environment for them to live inside a facility that they can be comfortable with because they do have income.
Yes, sir.
So I like affordable housing. I like workforce housing, but I also like that we can look into another realm when it comes to income-based housing, looking at what people can afford and helping them. Affordability is percentages, workforce is percentages, but income-based is relative, is reality. What can you afford? And let's work around that.
I guess that was the next question. How does the cost of living play in housing, and how can you educate the community on spending and saving?
Wow. Well, cost of living is definitely high in our country. Eggs are high. Other type of food that we normally have. The prices are going up. What I would say is that we have to go back to the old landmark. And I say that because there was a time when I was growing up in my home with my parents, the things that we wanted were a whole lot less than the things that we needed. So when you were in a crunch financially, you should pick and choose what you know are more of your needs than what you want, until you have elevated yourself to a point where you have funds set aside that you can, purchase things that you would like to have. And I think that's where we're at, but we have to train ourselves that way. When I was coming up, that's all my parents did. My parents and my father, my mother worked. My mother worked 2 jobs. My father worked in the paper mill. But my mother had to quit working because of her high blood pressure. So my dad was taking care of wife and 3 sons, growing sons, on that one check. And he did an awesome job with it because my mother was responsible for the money.
Yes, sir.
And she knew exactly when she went to Murray's Steakhouse or any Piggaway or whatever, she would get them to, instead of buying a whole packet of meat, she would go to the meat market and have them to slice the meat a certain width, thinner than the ones we buy in the store. That way it would actually be cheaper. She would buy bread that is, just got on the counter so it can last longer. Then she would even put the bread after a certain amount of days in the freezer. And then we would just go in the freezer and take a couple of slices and warm it up and go from there. So I saw my parents, and I just think that we, in this country now, we have to really, really manage our finances now a whole lot more. It's not easy, but we can make it, and just keep hoping and praying that the good Lord will actually lift us into a better place so we can afford to buy food like we normally did back years ago.
Yes. Okay, how is North Charleston addressing the issue of our homeless community?
Oh wow, that's another. I wouldn't call it issues. It's a travesty. It's a sad affair. We have people who are hanging out at corners all day long, begging for money and begging for food. Then when the sun goes down, they find their way into like a jungle or a place where a lot of trees are hanging out at, and they try to, rest. Now, when they're there, they still don't know the environment that they're in, and somebody can rob them, somebody can hurt them or something. And some of these people, or most of them, have families, but they dare not go to the families because of some reason, and I don't know. But I feel that with the homelessness, we as a city of North Charleston, we need to work with these developers or work with the folks that own property, and most importantly, the housing department, to be able to find innovative ways of reaching out to the homeless people, evaluating them and talk with them and saying to them, hey, I would like to help you to better your condition. If you go by some of these hotels that are really not 5-star hotels, when between 3:05 and 3:10, school buses pull up, and the kids walk out of the school bus and go to these hotels as their home. That bothers me. Just like it bothers me to see a mother with 3 children sitting at the corner, asking for food or money. Just like I see a man sitting in a wheelchair and without his legs, and he's basically rattling his cup for coins. And then another thing too with homelessness, our veterans, the people that fought foreign wars or went to another nation to protect our nation from any hurt, harm, or danger. Our veterans are sleeping under bridges and sleeping in carts, shopping carts. So we have to do a whole lot better. And we are in City of North Charleston. We've got a group called the Tunnels to Towers. They just bought the hotel right behind Cracker Barrel off Ash Phosphate and I-26, and they're refurbishing that. They'll have about 55 suites. They're going to gradually open the door. You can live there for a year, or you can live there forever. And that's going to take some of the homeless people out of the woods and off the streets as well.
Is mental health and substance abuse an important factor in our homeless community?
Yes, it is. It's truly probably the main issue. I've encountered homeless people. I've got family that's homeless, and when you speak with them, they're talking to you like you're their family. I'm the mayor, and they're like, hey, cuz, man, it's good to see you on the mayor. And he's like, man, thank you. I said, yeah, and we're just talking regular. And then they start talking to themselves or talking about somebody like they were standing there. And it bothers me because to see, my family or people like that. So yeah, homelessness is just, it's the mental health component really, to me, impacts people who are homeless, because those people really don't know what they're doing. They don't know their actions. And they're just living life the way that their mind is telling them to live, not that they control the mind.
Now, how is mental health and substance abuse affecting the rise of suicide cases?
Yes. Mental health impacts not only the person who has attempted to commit suicide or the people that did, but also the families. Because mental health, if a family member has some issues and they're not getting any kind of professional assistance, he or she will basically fall further into despair, to the point where they are not responding or reacting to the citizens around them. And then you can tell, but some of us black folks, we still have the thing about, he'll be all right, she'll be all right. Her stomach just hurting. So I just think that we as a people need to identify, issues with people in our family or outside our family, when we think that they're, in that moment of breaking down or having issues, and then help provide them, the services they need to address those issues.
Why is it important that members of our community come out to the city council meetings to hear about what's going on in the community, and what days are the meetings held?
Wow. Well, it's always important to come out, but I'll say the second question first. Our city council meeting happens every other Thursday.
Yes, sir.
So we have 2 council meetings in 1 month, and then we have a committee meeting, which the committee meeting is the chairman of the finance, chairman of the CDBG funds, and the chairman of public safety. And then I am there as a committee to hold. The mayor in this situation, Mayor Coswell and myself, we are what you call strong mayors. So in other words, we are responsible for the administration and upkeep and the direction of the city on a daily basis. So we work full time. I get here around 8:30. I don't get home till around 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, because we are, accountable to our positions. So Mayor Caldwell is like that as well. I just asked the other question, the end of the question.
Well, what is important that members of our community come out to the city council meeting to
Yes.
hear about what's going on?
Yes, hearing about the city council meetings in the city of North Charleston is really a must. And the reason why I say is because you may talk to your friends through telephone or social network or email, and you can gather some intel, their information. That's all well and fine. But to know how your city is being kept,
Yes, sir.
you have to come to council meetings, because you can hear so much valuable information about the daily activities of city government, either from the city council people or from the mayor's office. And we sometimes get in meetings where most of it we're just talking about the citizens. And in our conversation with the citizens, it gets to a point where we have somebody in the audience that's willing to talk about something that we just mentioned that we didn't really know too much about, and then they can give us a better understanding. And then vice versa. When you come to council meeting as a civilian and you listen to council, and now you know how your city works. Mm-hmm. You know how the mayor make things, happen. You know how the city council members, what they're requesting. So I love it. I love the city council meeting. We had one tonight.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we're going through this government shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
How is that affecting some of the people in North Charleston, and what are some possible resources available if you have any?
Well, it is affecting some folks in North Charleston, because it's affecting their livelihood, affecting their families, and then affecting them in a point where they don't know how this thing is going to heal. Some people feel like, okay, the shutdown is going on, they can't come to agreement, I don't have a job anymore, I got to wait until they call me back. Some people will get called back, some won't. The ones that don't, I feel sorry for them, because most of them didn't cause this to happen. But because it happened, just like North Charleston people do, we find a way to move on. So I would say to our citizens, don't ever give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Just keep on working hard. The Lord will bless you, because the Lord knows your heart. And don't get into a situation where you are really, really just so angry that you want to lash out physically or do something to somebody. Don't do that. Just stand the course.
This is only a test.
That's all.
Only a test.
Yeah.
And God has prepared us
Yes.
to handle situations like
Yeah.
this.
And we've been through this before. It's biblical. We've been through there with King Herod, been through there with Egypt, been through with all the situations with Job been through it, and Abraham been through it, and Jesus been through it, and yeah, we'll get through it together.
Yes, sir. In closing, Mayor Burgess, what are some of the final words you would like to say to the people in the community, not only in North Charleston, but around the country?
Well, I'd like to, first of all, to the City of North Charleston citizens, I just want them to know that I love them. I truly appreciate going into my 36th year of serving the City of North Charleston. I will continue to serve my city in the best way I can. And I will take a look at how I can be better, not only in my job description, but be a better person for people.
Yes, sir.
City of North Charleston, like I said before earlier, we are the economic engine. So we're making progress within our city with not only people, but also with our businesses. And I think that it's going to come a time that we as citizens will have to really just really go another direction. It's like when you came here today, you parked your car where you would park at. But if we had the lines diagonal or change or a parking deck, you would have to figure it out where you're gonna park at. You would park, but you had to figure it out. That's what I love. I think people are thinking like versatility pays off. If you're versatile, you're doing things that doesn't stop you. Because whenever you are stuck, you don't engage and you do not elevate yourself. But people who are actually forward thinkers, people who actually care about things, people who are God-fearing people, they know that this too shall pass.
Yes, sir.
And I believe it with my whole heart and my mind that it will, because I've seen it before. Maybe not in this realm, maybe not in the players that's out there, but I've seen it before. And the Bible says that Jesus will ascend after the trumpet, and those who are dead will be caught up to him, and then those who are remaining will be caught up. So my whole deal is, that's the deal I want. I don't want no other deal. I don't want to talk to nobody else. I want to deal with the deal that I like. And I just believe that the Lord is going to take care of us to the end of, that he did in the pandemic. He's going through this right now with us to get us focused, and I think he's going to make sure that happens. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here. We've been here since 1619, so I'm pretty sure we'll be here a whole lot longer.
Mayor Burgess, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for the outstanding job that you're doing in the City of North Charleston. And anytime you want to come back on the show, just let me know, because I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for supporting me all these years. Thank you for just being like a big brother to me, even though you didn't know me that well. You open up that branch to say, hey, get on my branch, I can take you. And as far as I'm concerned, you became a big brother to me.
Sir.
Yeah, so
Thank you,
thank you again.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Burgess. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show, and you be encouraged. Thank you.